At 27, he's worth over $30 million. He owns a $7 million luxury apartment. Global brands pay him millions just to wear their clothes. And every song he touches turns into gold. Let me ask you something. What were you doing when you were 27? Or maybe you're younger, maybe you're older, but think about it. At 27, most people are just trying to figure out rent, maybe working their way up in some job, maybe finishing college loans. Now imagine this. By the age of 27, you're not just successful, you're worth over $30 million. You're recognized in every corner of the globe. Your name alone can make billion-dollar brands rise in stock value. And yet, behind all that glamour, your journey began in one of the most ordinary places imaginable. The streets of Busan, South Korea. That's the story of Jungkook, or as the world knows him, the golden maknae of BTS. And today, I'm going to take you through how a shy, ambitious kid transformed into one of the wealthiest and most powerful young stars on Earth before hitting his 30s. Oh, and before we dive in, hit that subscribe button, because every single day at 7 p.m., I drop a new deep dive into the money, the power, and the lessons behind the world's biggest celebrities. Trust me, you don't want to miss this ride. All right, let's rewind the clock and start at the very beginning. Jungkook was born on September 1st, 1997 in Busan, South Korea. Not exactly the place most people would expect the world's biggest star to emerge from. He grew up like any other kid, sports, video games, school. At one point, he even thought he'd become a badminton player. Here's the part that always gets me. Jungkook wasn't born into wealth. He didn't come from some family with a giant business empire. He was just a kid with a dream that started, funny enough, when he saw G-Dragon perform on TV. That moment planted a seed. So what does a kid do with a dream that big? He auditions. He puts himself out there. And at just 13 years old, Jungkook auditioned for a show called Superstar K. He didn't win, but instead of that being the end of the story, it became the opening chapter. Big Hit Entertainment saw potential in him. And remember, Big Hit wasn't the powerhouse it is today. Back then, it was a small company, almost struggling to keep the lights on. Still, Jungkook took the leap. He left his home city, left his family, and moved to Seoul to train as a K-pop idol. Can you imagine? You're barely a teenager, and you're already betting your entire future on something that uncertain. That takes guts. Now, it wasn't smooth sailing. Training life, brutal. These kids go through 12 to 16-hour days, singing, dancing, language lessons, dieting. The pressure is enormous. And Jungkook, being the youngest, felt that even more. Here's something people don't always talk about. Before BTS blew up, they almost didn't make it. They were underdogs. Other agencies laughed at them. Big Hit was seen as the small company, trying to compete with giants like SM or YG. There were times when the company was close to bankruptcy. And let's be real here, facing rejection at 13, moving away from home and then training under harsh conditions. That could break anyone. But it didn't break Jungkook. If anything, it sharpened him. It turned him into what ARMY calls the golden maknae, because he just kept getting better at everything. Singing, dancing, rapping, producing, you name it. The turning point came in 2015-2017. BTS started gaining traction, not just in Korea, but globally. Songs like I Need You, Run, and then Blood, Sweat and Tears. These tracks built momentum. By 2017, BTS was performing at the Billboard Music Awards. And when they hit the American market, the game changed forever. For Jungkook, this wasn't just fame. This was the start of wealth. Big wealth. Touring stadiums meant millions in ticket sales, album sales, merchandise, endorsements. Suddenly, this kid from Busan was no longer just a dreamer. He was a global superstar with money flowing in faster than most people could even imagine. And here's the smart part. BTS didn't just earn as performers, they became shareholders. When HYBE went public in 2020, Jungkook and each member got 68,000 shares. At IPO, that was worth about $8 million each. At peak, more than $20 million. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your net worth just doubled overnight because you believed in the company that once struggled to survive. Now let's talk about the empire. Where does Jungkook's wealth really come from? Music royalties. He's credited as a songwriter and producer on multiple BTS songs, plus his own solo tracks like My Time and Still With You. Royalties mean money every time those songs are played, streamed, or licensed. Concerts. BTS tours gross over 100 million per tour. Members take a share. Do the math. Jungkook is pulling in millions just from live performances. Brand endorsements. Jungkook isn't just any model. When Calvin Klein signed him in 2023, sales skyrocketed. We're talking millions in revenue boost for the brand. His fee? Likely 1 to 3 million per campaign. Samsung, Hyundai, Louis Vuitton, they all lined up for his influence. HYBE shares, still one of his biggest assets. Even with fluctuations in the stock market, those shares keep him in the multi-millionaire club. Real estate. In 2021, Jungkook purchased a $7 million apartment in Itaewon, one of Seoul's most exclusive neighborhoods. That's not just a home, that's an appreciating asset in one of the hottest real estate markets in Asia. Put it all together and you see why his net worth is estimated at over $30 million. But let me tell you, money aside, what makes Jungkook's empire unique is his influence. When he wears a shirt, it sells out. When he posts a song, it trends worldwide. That level of brand power, you can't buy it. You earn it. Now, every empire has its storms. Jungkook isn't without controversy. Back in 2019, there were rumors of him visiting a tattoo shop, which caused a stir in conservative Korean media. In 2020, he faced backlash for visiting a bar during COVID-19 restrictions. And in 2022, there were plagiarism accusations around his self-composed song. Did these shake his career? Not really. Each time, he addressed it, moved on, and his star power only grew. If anything, these moments showed that beneath the global fame, Jungkook is human, flawed, learning, and growing. So what can we learn from Jungkook's journey? 1. Start small, dream big. He didn't come from money. He came from ambition. Success doesn't require a silver spoon. It requires vision and relentless effort. 2. Turn rejection into redirection. He didn't win that audition show, but that failure redirected him to BTS, the biggest boy band in history. 3. Diversify your income. Music, stocks, real estate, endorsements. Jungkook doesn't rely on just one stream. Neither should you. 4. Protect your brand. His biggest asset isn't just money, it's trust. His influence is why brands pay millions. In business, reputation is gold. 5. Stay human. Despite the fame, he shows vulnerability. He struggles, he apologizes, he grows. And that authenticity, that's priceless. Jungkook's story is more than just the tale of a rich young star. It's proof that with vision, grit, and a little bit of timing, you can turn dreams into empires. He didn't wait until his 30s, 40s, or 50s. He made it happen before 27. So let me ask you, what's stopping you from building your own version of that empire? Maybe it's not music. Maybe it's business, writing, art, or something else entirely. But if a kid from Busan could change the world stage, maybe, just maybe, you can change yours. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget, new stories every single day, right here at 7 p.m. Hit that subscribe button, share this with a friend who needs a little inspiration, and I'll see you tomorrow with another deep dive into the money and power behind the world's biggest names. This is your storyteller signing off. Stay ambitious. Stay inspired, and remember, your story is still being written.